Discord guy. All right. Raymond Martin, Desi is back. Desi, welcome back, Faust. All right. Sorry I'm late. I'll try to catch up. Welcome to Tradespoon in Yellow Tunnel. My name is Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of both companies. And today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. If this is your first live event, do me a favor, type in first. This is my brief bio. Disclosures are very important. Please read them. If you're new to trading stock or options, I encourage you to visit the link on your screen so you understand the risk associated with trading stock or options. And you can always pause the screen to read the remaining of the disclosures, which are very important. All right. Assassination attempt of Trump, which is not sure if it affects the market, but nonetheless, that's kind of took over all the headline news since yesterday and today. So looks like he's well, which is great. And the spiders are up, all-time high. That continues. That's the trend. 10-year yield after better than expected CPI dropped. New marginal low. It's bouncing back, but still weaker yield. Stronger TLT, right? That is trading TLT. So TLT kind of almost touched April highs. Pulling back slightly today, down 1% pre-market, and dollar is weaker. Also below 200-day moving average, also retesting June lows. All of that is positive for the market. Usually, kind of middle of July market. That's from seasonality point of view, a strong time of the year, and earnings season starting. Right, earnings season starting so far. Delta Airline pulled back, banks pulled back. So we'll have more info in the next 2 weeks. Expectations are high. Market is overbought. So this is a time to potentially start hedging. Nonetheless, we are at session new marginal highs, 10 cents, not a big deal. But nonetheless, I would watch small caps, right? Small caps, regional banks, right? ARK Innovation is up. Even Bitcoin caught a bit up, 10% pre-market. So it looks like risk on trade is back on. And the number of stocks above 50 small caps and mid caps, right? That's a lot of stocks between these two. So we have a broadening of the rally, which is also positive. The only thing is to keep in mind is that at least last year, and usually from the seasonality point of view, end of July market kind of starts stalling, and then August it starts pulling back. So I think it makes sense to hedge. Still pattern of higher highs, higher lows. I think market is heading higher, especially if the inflation is contained, trending lower, and 10-year yield also trending lower. So seasonal chart, yeah, usually July is strong, right, from seasonality point of view, and then towards starts stalling right at that middle of July, maybe a couple more weeks of sideways, slightly higher, and then August is when we pull back. Usually, right? That doesn't mean it has to do it this time, but seasonality basically tells you that maybe it makes sense to be cautious. Until then, VIX is 13. VIX is up 4% today. We do have VIX expiration, right? And we have so we have a VIX expiration and monthly expiration, and that usually creates repositioning, right? So VIX could be up, right, because people are closing their July position, now start rolling into. Oh, that looks new. They're opening their August position and July. So the August position and September. So July is where you want to start closing your positions. Let's see, is Keith here? And this. Alon, welcome. Keith. Keith, make presenter. Make panelist. All right, Keith, let me know if you can hear me. make sure that the sound is okay. Built-in output. Okay. Keith, let me know if you can hear me. Okay. I just made you a panelist. Let me know if can complete as well. Okay. All right. Let's see, Keith. Copy email address to clipboard. Yep, that's Keith. Okay, Keith, let me know if you can hear me. I think you're muted right now. But all right. So in terms of positioning, now that we do have July expiration, you want to close your July position, roll them into August, September, and so July 19th, right? There are a lot of positioning, right? So a lot of volume in these contracts, and then the next one is August 19th. So this is still this Friday, right? This Friday, 550 is well supported, so that's your support, 550, and overhead resistance is at 570. So between now and Friday, probably not going to get much further than 570. If we do have positive surprise, we have Netflix, right? Halliburton announcing earnings, Bank of America tomorrow, and on the downside, 550. And then after this expiration, going into August, I think relatively bigger, 530. So there's not a lot of, I mean, there's some positioning at 540. There's some position, not a lot at 540. Very little at 575, right? So people are selling 575 calls. Let's say they're going into September. How September looks now? Okay, so September looks like bigger positioning at 595. So people are selling aggressively 595 calls into September. Somebody does, that's the largest quantity. We haven't seen that for a while, where there's a big demand for calls, S&P 500 calls. Or selling deep in the money puts, that's also possible. Somebody's selling deep in the money puts, 595. And in terms of hedging, 540, right? Between September and August, 540 is your main support level. So if I look at the spiders, there's really not much support until 540. So if the earnings is negative or macroeconomic data is negative, let's see, when is Powell. So we do have Powell speak at 12 p.m. today. Not sure how much volatility is going to contribute to. We have retail sales in July. Last time retail sales were weaker than expected. We have different regions of that speaking. And that's about it. Right. So next week, I think, is the Wednesday. Interest rate decision, I think it's end of July. Okay. So for now, I think we have retail sales on Tuesday. Then we have Beige Book on Wednesday. Because people are concerned about, there's small talks about recession, whether it's going to happen or not, we'll see. And that's about it. All right. Meanwhile, spiders are up 40 basis points. Small caps are up 76 basis points, and regional banks, strong move in regional banks breaking out to the upside, up 2%. Silver is slightly lower, 0.5%. Germany down 0.5%. Copper is down. China is down 2%. And Bitcoin is up 10%. Any questions? Sound is Ernest, William, welcome. Discord guys, good morning, how's your weekend? Jerry Blossom, L. Mark, Russer, how are you? All right, so in terms of trades, let's see. You can find trade ideas in Active Trader. Right, usually I wait 15 minutes to find support. You have Ford, eBay, and Amgen. And you can find the same trades in Aggressive Power Trader. Sometimes there's more signals in Aggressive Power Trader. This week I didn't see anything else. So Amgen, Ford, and eBay. Amgen has been bullish signal a few times in the past couple days. It looks like it's trying to break through this overhead resistance. It has shown support at 320. Overhead resistance. Well, we need to confirm that this is a breakout, right? Day one above, day two, we'll see if that's confirmed. So let's add Amgen. Don't really have any biotech. Let's look at Ford. Ford is also breaking out, up to 2.5% above this level. So you have Ford above 1390. It announces earnings in July 24th, or 9 days. So you have Amgen, Ford. Wells Fargo after the earnings, bouncing back. Citigroup after earnings, stable. And people are getting into JP Morgan despite initial pullback. Again, close to all-time high. So people are buying banks. Amgen, Synchrony Financial is announcing earnings, I think, in a couple of days. All right, in 2 days, Synchrony Financial is announcing, and RCL continues to grind higher. Looks like AMAT is trying to recover. You have Amgen, Ford. Not sure about not going anywhere since March, but for short-term trading, maybe. All right, so you have Ford, Amgen, above volume. See yellow tunnel, profit accelerator. Let's look at 1 hour. So do have support around 328. All right, so let's do Amgen. 22 days, still small volume. Average volume 2 million shares, so it's not too bad. You do have short-term support, 328. All right, let's look at Amgen. All right, so 326, for now, neutral trend. Long-term, neutral, 10 days, also neutral. So for now, neutral trend. No problem. Thank you, Keith. Okay. Keith is here, but he's going to listen in. Oh, Beck phone call. Perfect. Thank you, Keith. All right. I mean, you do have a strong uptrend. Let's see, how's biotech doing? And also forces overhead resistance. So maybe I should go with the Ford instead of Amgen. I'm trying to figure out which one. Yeah, Ford looks like strong uptrend, and there's really not much overhead resistance till 15. 9 days. 9 days. You know what? Let me go with Ford. Just need to add it to the list. Info. Okay. So if you're in profit accelerated, Ford, Amgen, both I think good trades. I don't have any retail stocks, so I think Ford looks strong. All right. So in terms of support resistance, well, the breakout level, right? This is important level. So around 14 level, 14, 2%. So if it drops below 14, I'm going to be down less than $100 on $10,000 account. Right, that. Right. So everywhere we say maximum loss of 2.5%. Earnings season, market could be volatile based on the results of the earnings. So if it would drop $100, so that's what 2%, 40 cents. So maybe I can buy. Yeah. Cents, then it's $100 would be 200 shares. 200 shares. So that would be my calculation. Trade stock. Word. So that's Ford. You can find it again under active trader, and the trades themselves. Sorry. You can find here. So small caps, I do want to be long small caps. So I'm going to September. So let's tell Alex, bounces fix. Okay, so we'll change it to market on close. It's trading. I mean, it can get filled. Let's see, we are, I think, a few cents away. Right now it's trading 350 by 360. 350 by 360. So I put an order for 340. So we'll see. But if not, then by market on close, I want to be out of this trade as well. No, not out, but in small caps, because I think, I mean, we had this last time. It was a false breakout. Here, right? I mean, it actually spent a lot of time above the breakout beginning of 2024 in April. So it could be the same way where we could have a pullback, but I still think it's a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. So even if we drop below 209, I think 205 now should hold. Unless inflation just comes back, very hot, then yes. But for now, it's above average volume, continues to push the market higher. So I'm bullish on small caps. We could get actually filled. Did I get filled? Oh no, it's Ford. Okay. All right, so I'm long Ford, kind of from the profit accelerator stock forecast toolbox. It could be a short-term signal where you just day trade it, or it could be you can hold it overnight. So I'm gonna put maybe 1% gain on half of the shares. 1% would be 1450. 1451. And the second half, I will look for 0.5% profit, 2% profit. 2% profit would be 30 cents, so 1465. Still long AMAT, right? I've been trading around. Let's go over the other position. Been long about AMAT. We did have a pullback, right? Rotation after CPI data. Everybody jumped into value stocks, right? Banks, silver, utilities, interest rate sensitive stocks. But looks like day one, day two to day three, we're not making any new lows. We do have 50-day moving average around 230, strong support. I propose that if it drops to 230, you do not want to be down more than $250. I did trim the position, so I'm going to buy these shares back now. And then maybe look for 1% profit, which would be 245, 1% profit, 2.5. Let's look here. Maybe 245. It would be 245, 6, 248. Okay, so 248. Let's see. Zoom to 1 hour. $248.30, $248.30, 25, $248.25. So look for 1% profit on the shares that I just bought. And that's why you want to kind of do dollar cost average or trim half of your position. So if market does pull back and you see some kind of signs of 2-3 days, the market doesn't pull back further, then you can buy your shares back, right, for AMAT. All right, so these are the fourth position, trim at 1% gain, 2% gain, and apply materials to close to 48. I would watch the earnings. I think AMAT is in what? AMAT, we still have 30 days. So AMAT, we don't have earnings on AMAT, but we do have earnings on Taiwan Semiconductors, which should push, semiconductors, lead them on. So in 3 days. So this week we'll have Taiwan Semiconductors. That will start the earnings season for semiconductors, and usually they move together. So something to keep in mind. Any questions? Amazon. I mean, there was a rotation out of the Magnificent Seven. We've had these rotations before. Usually they're short-lived. You do have a very strong, the clean breakout above 190. I think as long as Amazon is above 190, you're in good shape. Obviously, we have earnings that will impact. Is it going to continue grinding higher, or is it going to pull back? So right now, you can't really predict the reaction of the earnings. Like JP Morgan, for example, had great earnings, right? Nothing negative about it. It did pull back almost to 50-day moving average, and now it's almost at the all-time high. So you're going to have volatility around earnings, right? Large moves to the upside, to the downside. Amazon and retail, right? So both. So it's all about their business in cloud computing, right? AWS and their data center business. It should continue growing double digits, right? That's the expectation. So But in terms of technical, I would watch the 50-day moving average. As long as it's above 50-day moving average, it's a pattern of higher highs, higher lows. I have Google, similar setup, similar trades, similar ideas. How's Google actually doing? Okay, it's basically flat. So Google is flat. That's one of my positions going into the earnings. September, I have time. The only August position right now I have is General Electric, right? General Electric. It's at 160 and earnings, I think, this week, right? When is the earnings? 8 days. So I have 8 days to make a decision on General Electric. It's an August position, so I don't have too much time, right? 4 weeks plus earnings. General Electric can move up to 10%. Right, it gets volatile during earnings. Right? Last time it was 10%. So it's the same thing. If you don't want to take the risk of 10% down, that could be a, quickly $150 stock or even further down. Then before the earnings, you want to close the position. Kind of what I did was UNH. Right, if you still have UNH. Tomorrow, right? So, I mean, if you held on to it, it was a $5.25, $30 stock. Earnings tomorrow. But, the idea is to trim it before you have your earnings. So if you held on to it, and at this point, it's a pretty large move, right? About 5%. You probably might want to consider trimming that trade if you still held on to UNH. Amazon, Gary, I'm not sure if Amazon is in downtrend. Maybe short term, I would say downtrend. Long term, it's the bull. Medium term, bull. Long term, Amazon is in strong bullish momentum. Also have Prime Days starting tomorrow. I mean, Prime Days, retail numbers, obviously, it's still retail stock, so it does influence short term, right? The retails, we have Amazon Prime Days. That could impact. We'll see. All right, so we talked about AMAT. I'm still short DIA, right? Especially as we're approaching earnings season. It looks like it broke above this level on better than expected CPI. Everybody rotated to this next. I have to watch. If it continues to grind higher, then I might want to consider just closing the trade, right? Because it's above breakout. I thought it's not going to break out. It did after the better than expected CPI data. So we'll see, maybe by end of the week close, or hold on to it because I have a other bullish position, and this serves as a hedge for other bullish positions. So that's DIA. We talked about Ford, FXI. I trimmed FXI. Did pull at some point, add those shares back. We talked about General Electric. We talked about Google and silver, right? Silver. Pull back, stabilizing, some long silver, long General Electric, and new position is IWM. I have an order for IWM, and by end of today, I will get into the trade. So those are my positions. Any questions on Discord? And Neil, welcome back. Mark, Cherry Blossom, Rosser. Thank you for participating. We have a lot of people today. Very nice. Larissa, Ahava, Alon, Bob, Carol, everybody on YouTube, welcome. If you don't have a channel, please click on search for the word Tradespoon and hit on subscribe. And if you like the videos, please hit on like. Always appreciated. Thank you, Alon, for broadcasting. Bob, Carol, Chuck, Claude, David, Ernest, Faust, Gary, Cecile, Jim, Mario, Martin, Mason, Maurice, Patrick, Peter, Raymond, Thomas, Sidar, Bill. Daisy left. Okay, welcome. Be correct, you could be wrong. OLVI, let's see, OLVI. It is true if you should have enough day. Let's see. I mean, it's been volatile, but hold on a second. Let's go back. I mean, no, it could be. I mean, Short term, it should have. Long term, it should not, because it's kind of, I don't know what this is, but and its volume is very low, right? 1,000 shares. So I would be careful with using any analytics, not just stock forecast toolbox for stocks that are very liquid, right? 1,000 shares. I mean, it's almost unpredictable. So I would be careful with analyzing these stocks, Bill. With 1,000 shares traded, it's very easy to manipulate. All right. Any other questions? All right. So takeouts. Okay. All right. So Ford. AMAT, we talked about General Electric. Microsoft is flat. Apple is up 1.5%, so that started its move to the upside, breaking out new highs in Apple. NVIDIA consolidating, continue to consolidate. Amazon consolidating. Google is consolidating. Japanese yen continue to plummets, against dollar lows since December of 1986. Right, so we're talking about 40 years. But it looks like there's intervention and trillions of yen. So it's trying to stimulate the yen. So that's a lot of people talk about that. Let's see. What else is interesting? Materials bouncing back. Better than expected CPI. Home builders rallied almost at 52-week high. So strong rally in home builders. Strong rally in metals and miners. China pulling back, reversing some of the gains from last week. Industrials at 52-week high. REITs had a strong move to the upside. Healthcare at 52-week high. So you do have a broad-based rally, basically. Consumer discretionary, strong rally. Retail close to 52-week high. Transportation, even transportation bounced back. Staying above 200-day moving average, above 50-day moving average. What else? QQQ is up. SEM is a flat. Spider's up 30 basis points. So ARK Innovation today, regional banks are leading the market. Utilities pull back after strong rally yesterday. Germany pulling back, but strong bounce back after the elections in Europe, and small caps continue to make new highs. Small caps continue to make new highs. Biotech is up, energy is up. Silver, LA Lilly continues to grind higher. So that's good. So I did close NVO, maybe time to rotate to LA Lilly. Let me maybe add that position. Yeah, let's rotate to LA Lilly. When is it announcing earnings? In the months, okay, 24 days. Okay. Let's see, profit accelerator. Okay, so I closed NVO last week. I think LA Lilly is, there's divergence. What is it? I mean, last week was 917. So let's be more conservative. Let's allow, 5% stop loss, right? 917. At 917, I want to be down no more than $100. So from 960 to 920, $40. So maybe I can. I mean, it's still a $900 stock. So I'm gonna go with. So that's how I would calculate how much you want to risk. 2 shares, it's down 5%. You're down $100, and then you want to make a decision whether you want to, stay long or not. Okay, so I did 2 shares. I don't want to be down more than $100 if it drops. So look for one, on half of the shares, I would look for maybe 1 or 2%. It's pretty volatile. So maybe 975, 980. That's 975. So 975 for 1 share, half of the shares. And the second half of the shares, maybe 4%. Right. So, and I think there's a big position, right? LA Lilly. Let's look at positioning. August 16, September. What are people selling? 1080. 1,000. So huge position at 1,000. Huge position at 1,000. Dealers alone gamma at 1,000, so it could pull to 1,000, but probably not going to break it without a fight. So I'll put 990. Let's do 990, 991 for the second half of the shares. Right. So this can help you decide how much room to the upside in some of these stocks and how well you want to position. So, all right, so now we have LA Lilly instead of NVO. So bought at 961, trying to close 975, 991. We talked about Applied Materials and Ford. All right, let's see how much AMAT is positioning. Well, AMAT, some dealers are short gamma, right? They're short gamma on puts, so but selling to 60. Selling to 60. Strike. All right, earnings. Who announced earnings today? I didn't see any major companies today. Let's see who announced earnings and how did it go. Goldman Sachs and BlackRock Group. Well, that's important. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. This is John's favorite stock. My daughter is actually an intern in Goldman Sachs. Let's see how Goldman Sachs is doing after the earnings. Or is it after the close? No, it says before market open. Okay. Results first quarter ended. Okay. Breaking out. So Goldman Sachs is doing well. Continue to make new, is it all-time highs? I think it's all-time high. Yeah, or very, yeah. So new all-time highs. Goldman Sachs is doing well, and Bank of New York is also doing well, continues to break out all-time highs, and BK, Bank of New York Mellon, is up. Okay. And then tomorrow, oh, let's see, what's today? Is there anything after the close today? Nothing of interest. Okay. See tomorrow. UNH, so United Health Group tomorrow. If you still have a position, maybe trim. Morgan Stanley, Schwab, Bank of America, banking announcing tomorrow morning. So let's see. Morgan Stanley. What did I? Well, Bank of America, we kind of already know the earnings, probably one of the stronger stock out of the banks. But now they all kind of reported. Reaction was negative, but then they kind of flat. So let's see how people are positioning into Bank of America. If they're long volatility, if you know the idea, do you want to be long or short the volatility? August 16, July 19, August 16. So there is some selling of 41 put, not that far, but for the most part, it's long put skew, right? More demand for puts. People are buying puts, hedging their position, they're selling calls. So in terms of estimated move analysis, so expected move 5%, right? $2, 5%. It could move, you know, 2 standard deviation, probably $4. So let's see, where's the peaks on July 1926? So $2 would take you to 44. So selling 44 call and $2 down is 40. Right? $39 put, right? 39 or 39 and a half put, 40 is an idea. I would probably sell the premium, right? Just like Wells Fargo or, you know, JP Morgan, you know, selling premium on the Bank of America. We'll do the trade at close and bell in case market sells off. One of the reasons Wells Fargo, you know, it pulled back right before the market. So ideally you want to do it second half. So we'll review this trade and put it on at the close and bell. All right, guys, any other questions? KRE 53. Yeah, regional banks are continue to rally. IWM continues to march higher. I'm long small caps. Thank you very much and have a great day. I'll see you guys at the closing bell.